Hey guys, long time no see. Sorry, I just want to apologise for the lack of videos recently. I've been sick for the past 2 weeks, which is why I haven't put anything up. And just a quick second apology for the poodle on my head right now. I've left my hair natural because it's way too hot to style or anything during summer, so it is what it is, people. The truth is out. A dead poodle lives on my head. Now, today's video has actually been requested by a couple of you, and that is my acting story and what it's like to chase your dreams in New Zealand. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually a trained actor. I went to South Seas back in 2011. Got the official little document here. It's a diploma in screen acting, so that's official. It's on a piece of paper. No, but seriously, I was talking to my friend Georgia the other day on Twitter, and we were talking about how after high school no one really warns you for the sudden stop in everything. Like when you go to school, you've got yourself planned out every single day. You go there at 9 o'clock, you know, you got maths in the morning, then psychology or whatever you do at high school, and everything's planned out for like most of your life. And then suddenly you finish high school. Some of you might go to university, same thing for a couple of years, and then everything stops. You graduate and life happens. What do you do then? Like, no one prepares you. There are no classes in school for what happens after school. Even if you've chosen a career like I had, acting, I went to university, I studied that for a whole year. Even if you've chosen a career, you don't go out straight into a career. So what do you do then? Basically, me and her were having this discussion and it can get really depressing. So I just wanted to share with you guys my sort of story with that, and I don't know, maybe you'll find it interesting, maybe you'll find it helpful. But yeah. So ever since I was about 7 years old, I've known that I've wanted to act, and I've let everybody know that I've wanted to act. At high school, when any careers advisor, when any of my friends would say, oh, what do you want to do when you grow up? Acting, 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 the whole time. That was of course before YouTube or blogging came up as well. I just always wanted to perform and be in the entertainment industry. So once I had finished high school, I knew that there was a film school in Auckland that I wanted to go to, and that was South Seas. So I auditioned for that and got in. And that's a year-long course in screen acting. So I learnt a lot there, because before I went there, all I'd ever done was theatre. I'd done musical theatre and regular theatre. So going to South Seas is really good because it's an on-screen acting course. That's where I learnt about cameras, how to film, basic stuff about hitting a mark, things like that. Things that I now use for YouTube as well as just acting. So that was a really beneficial year for me, but it is only a year-long course. It's intensive, so it's 3 years worth of information and coursework all shoved into 1 year, and it was intense but a lot of fun, and I learned heaps. But after that, like I was saying before, everything stops. Especially with the film industry in New Zealand, there's not a huge amount of work, especially right now. The film industry is sort of in a little bit of a decline in New Zealand, unfortunately, and there's not a ton of work. So basically I was chatting to my friend Georgia on Twitter the other day about what can you do when you don't know what to do. I spent the first 2 years after I graduated feeling like I did nothing. I feel like the past 2 years I wasted. I just sat at home. Suddenly I didn't have anywhere to be or a schedule to fill, and I would just sit around. I got an agent for acting and I expected them to get me work. The work didn't come, and I was just ending up sitting there getting more and more upset that I couldn't fulfill my dreams. But actually, when I look back on it, I didn't do nothing in those 2 years. I think when you're in the moment, it's really easy to feel like you're doing nothing and get really down on yourself and get really almost depressed about it, because it can feel like a really hard slog. And this doesn't only apply to acting, this is for everything. No matter what you're working towards, there is going to be a little bit of an uphill climb. So if you're in that rut sort of at the moment, keep working, keep trying new things. You will get there in the end. what I did for the past 2 years, when I look back on it, even though I thought I did nothing, I got a part-time job, which was great for me because it means I only had to work, obviously part-time, I only worked on the weekends. So I got enough money to get by in my weeks, but I also left the week open for auditions, acting, anything else that might come up. So I would recommend definitely, if you're just coming out of university now, get a part-time job if you don't know what to do, because that does leave room for you to do anything else. If you've got classes you want to join, if you want to take like kayaking lessons for example, it might have nothing to do with your major that you did at university, but if you're interested in it, take a class. You never know where that might lead. So basically all I'm saying is that if you are interested in something, no matter how it relates to your major, take classes in it, sort of explore that. While you're young, you do have the time and you're allowed to go out and explore different areas. Okay, so I'm rambling a bit here, but basically what I did for the past 2 years is I got a part-time job, it left room to experiment. It took me a while to realise that acting isn't all about waiting for roles to come to you, especially in New Zealand. Like I said, even though there are not that many roles out there for me at the moment, why can't I write my own stuff, you know? So if there's not the work for you, create the work. You can't sit back and wait for somebody else to come to you. You've got to go to them, you've got to put yourself out there. And that took me a long time to learn and build up the courage and the confidence to go out there and have enough faith in myself to fight for myself. So it wasn't actually until like partway through last year that I decided to make my written blog. I've read blogs and watched YouTube videos for years and years now and loved it and always wanted to do it, but I never built up the courage to actually create my own. I never thought anybody else would be interested in my opinion or see what I was wearing on a Tuesday or something like that. But you've got to learn that your opinion is valid and you know what you do is wanted and it is needed as well out there. So if you've got something that you're really passionate about, fight for it. You're allowed to go out there. You're allowed to, you know, play your own trumpet. So many times in New Zealand, we've got this sort of culture of tall poppy cutting, you know, nobody can be better than us and you've got to be really humble and you can't go out and fight for yourself. I think a lot of time in New Zealand, people confuse being humble with being almost self-pitying. You can still go out there and, you know, let people know your opinion and go out there and give the world what you've got to offer and still be humble about it. That's the problem that I found in New Zealand, is that you're allowed to have an opinion, you're allowed to live out your passion, so you should do that no matter what other people think. I always thought if I started YouTube, people would think that's weird. Kind of is weird, sitting in my bedroom talking to a camera, but you know, ever since I've started, I've had amazing feedback and my friends have been so supportive and my family have been so supportive that it shouldn't actually matter. Even if they weren't supportive, if you're enjoying it, it shouldn't matter what they think, because as long as you're being happy and as long as you're following your dream, other people will be drawn to your happiness. So really, it's up to you to fulfill your own destiny and to write that path for yourself. You can go out there and you can make your own career happen. So for example, for me right now, acting, I do still have my agent and I do go to acting classes quite often and I do go on auditions that my agent gets me. But also at the same time, I am currently in the process of writing my own web series that sort of fills some of the gaps in the interim of auditions or, you know, my days off. It gives me something to do, it's a creative outlet, and it's still something that I can work towards and that I can build up. Why should I wait for other people to write roles for me when I know exactly the role I want to play and I can write it myself? I'm also doing YouTube, obviously. I love you guys and never leaving you. And I've got my written blog as well. So this year I finally feel like I'm on a path. Even though I've always known that this is what I want to do, I'm finally actually doing it. So I encourage you guys to do the same. If you've got a passion and you're a little bit scared to try it, just do it. I know it's so much easier said than done, but you will thank yourself afterwards. It's like you're standing at the side of the cliff and do you jump, do you jump? You know what, if you're gonna do it, pull your pants down, jump off it proudly, show everybody what you've got, and just do it, and you'll feel amazing afterwards anyway. So yeah, hopefully this story wasn't too rambly for you guys, and you maybe found it interesting or enjoyable, and hopefully you learned something out of it as well. Leave me in comments down below if you've got any other passions that you are, you know, thinking about pursuing. Let me know what you're gonna do this year. Let me know if you want to hear any more about acting. I have had a couple of requests to do like how I got into acting or what it's like at acting school, things like that. But I don't know, if you guys want to hear that, then I'll definitely make a video for you. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. But otherwise, yeah. Hope you like it. Subscribe. Give it a thumbs up. Thumb me. I do enjoy it. Sounds a bit sexual. Don't do this. Just the regular. Just the basic will do. Yeah, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!